Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Mo. I'm a working mom who's on a journey to become financially free. On this channel, we'll be talking about all things debts, budgetings, and savings. I'm loosely Ramsey inspired, all while keeping in mind that this is real life. So without further ado, welcome to The Real Budget. Hello everybody that's returning and all my new people. Today I'm going to be going over my Q1 debt update. As promised, I'm super excited about this actually. So a little backstory for those of you that are new. I started budgeting in the middle of February, so about a month and a half ago. My very first video on this channel, I laid out my first debt confession, and here is my Q1 update. Now I know this hasn't been truly 3 months of paying, but I'm going to go by quarters of the year. And so this would be the end of March. And since we've already paid our March debts, I'm going to go ahead and give y'all the update. Here was my original sheets, just for a refresher. My total was $241,957.83. Let's go ahead and get into it. So I printed off these free from Google, and that's how I'm going to keep up with everything. This is the first month I've done this. The only one that is not listed in these next 10 sheets is our attorney. And that's because somebody reminded me it's not truly a debt. We don't owe her anything yet. We're paying up to a retainer. Also, it'll probably be gone soon, so that's the only one that's not on here. Our first debt was our first iPhone in our family. The balance was $166.63. Sorry, I had to go back and double check my number. Some of you guys will have seen a different number in my February payoff because I also included a phone payment before then. So this going into February was our balance. We paid a payment, and then I started my snowball thing. So in reality, we didn't start in January, so February we came in with this balance, and I will be happy to say that in February we paid $166.63, and the balance is $0. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Next, we had a car registration. We were a little bit behind on there. We didn't start this journey in January, February. We didn't pay anything on it, but we learned in March that it was accruing interest. I will also be happy to say that in March, we paid $300.40, and the balance is $0. So that debt number 2 is gone. iPhone 2, in February, we paid $33.45. I don't have a balance to update there. And then in March, we paid $30.56, leaving it at $274.87. Then we had a Capital One S card. In February, paid $250 on that. And then at the end, because of interest, it was $256.13. In March, I am happy to say we paid $256.13, and it's at a $0 balance too. Yay! We chose to pay this one a little bit ahead of this one. We just really didn't like the interest rate on that one. This has 0% interest rate. We're kind of going to do a snowball, kind of going to do debt priority. It's just what we feel like will keep us motivated. I'm going to move a little faster or we're never going to get these paid off. So y'all know some of these debts that are just personal to us, they're not personal loans. They're just, personal to us. I'm not going to disclose everything. They don't have minimum payments or interest, and some of our family ones don't. So we didn't pay these right now. Moving on to iPhone 3. In February, we paid $20.28. In March, we paid $30, and the balance is at $498. Okay, our Amazon loan, the minimum payment for that was $339.99. We paid that, it got us down to $340. And then in March, we paid the last $340, and that's paid off as well. Our bread loan, the minimum payment is $89.46. And then we doubled that payment in March, and that leaves us at a remaining $370.23. All right, our Credit One Amex, we paid $40, which was the minimum payment. And then we paid $44 in March. This minimum payment went up and the balance went up because an annual fee hit. I literally hate that so much, but it is what it is. I've learned a lesson there. And so our remaining balance on that one is $838.04. Credit One Visa, we paid $53 in February. In March, we paid $46, and the balance there is $886.08. Our Quicksilver, we paid $67 in February and $100 in March, and I believe we also got a annual fee. I think we got 3 annual fees this month, which is disgusting, but it is down to $1687.23. Personal, all right, the IRS. This is a fun one. Let's see, in February, we paid the minimum, which is $200 a month. And then we also got a tax refund of $3,018. So in February, we were able to pay $3,218. And then in March, we paid our regular $200 again. The minimum payment doesn't drop, and not that I would want it to, but it doesn't drop even after you have a much lower balance. So very happy to say we're much lower on that now. We're at $1,565.04. Student loan one, in February, we were playing catch up. So we paid $202.02. And in March, I believe we made a double payment of $134.68. We'll either use that payment to get ahead for April, or we'll just chalk it up to the fact that we made a double payment in March, but it wasn't like intentional, we just did it. That brought us down to $6,107.70. We paid $421.06 on our Amex in February, and then in March, the minimum went up because of another renewal. But our balance is down to $11,232.97. We paid $219.85 on student loan one in February. All right, and that brought us down to $26,464.01. We paid my SUV payment at $664.14 both months. And the balance there is $32891.56. And then my largest student net loan, y'all know this is the killer for me, was at $127.8 when I disclosed this to y'all in February. Getting it on a different payment plan, and that just meant that I didn't have a minimum payment in February. It was just $5 to redo. So that's what we did in February, and I really wish that we wouldn't have done that because I did not think about it still earning interest that month. So my balance got bigger that month. And then in March, we paid $584.94. That brought my balance to $127,996.73, which is higher than it was to begin with. So that's awful. It's just a learning lesson, and honestly, this just covers the interest on my loan right now. I also have some news that I may be getting a different job that is gonna help pay off some of this, so it's really on the back burner for now. It's a lower interest rate than a lot of our other loans too, so I'm less worried about it, even though it is the largest by far. Okay, so I'm gonna add up all of these balances, and then I'll see how much debt we were able to pay off in quarter one.